Welcome back to TV Movie Mistress, guys. I am back this week to talk about Season 2, Episode 8 of Pit Babe. Talk about an exciting episode. I honestly don't even know where to start with this week because we have so many storylines, so many good storylines from Kim and Kenta, Chris and Pete, North and Sonic, Sonic and Dean, Jeff and Alan, Willy and Charlie, Charlie and Babe, and this was a very meaty episode. So first off, we have everything that's been happening with the skill nullifying drug that Chris has been trying to invent. I don't even know if they've gotten to the invention stage, but they've gotten to the invention stage because they're testing it on Charlie. And week after week, I continue to love this board of nonsense. I would love to know if there are any actual scientists within brain chemistry. I know there's a brain chemist or chemistry I don't know the word who watches BL. What do you guys see the screen behind them and just think nonsense? Because I don't know. I'm just impressed. Looks sciencey. That's a brain. Looks like a scan. But yeah, they're continuing to test this skill nullifying drug and just continue to kind of get nowhere. And I again wonder if that's intentional on the part of Chris, because I don't trust him for shit. Let's continue that theme. I do not trust him. We also continue to get another week where Babe is just full mama cub on Charlie, which I continue to be here for. He continues to hate Chris, which I am also here for. But just the possessiveness, the caring, the intentionality, whenever Charlie is around, because again, Charlie doesn't even care about Charlie health wise. From the actions he's taking, just from the end of last week's episode where he absorbed Jeff's power. And, that's awesome. Jeff's not going to die now. But also, at what cost? But whatever. Chris is it's not working, so you have to start it all over again. What do you mean we have to start over the entire... I believe nothing that comes out of his little sassy mouth, okay? His little sassy, cute, and plump mouth, because just we have to start from. We don't have time. Even if you guys had unlimited money, you don't have time. You already know that Tony's out here working on a skill enhancing drug. Now Charlie has taken in more power. Charlie shouldn't have been absorbing more power. It kind of renders the test, moot. Well, you better figure that out, buddy. You're getting paid. I'm sure HR made you sign some forms and they got your account number. You're getting paid and you need to figure this out. Because, starting from scratch seems wild to me. The way Babe is absolutely ready to slap the shit out of Chris. And Charlie's it's okay, babe. It is not okay. But thank you for holding me back. And because of Charlie's absorption of Jeff's power, look who is now conveniently back at Babe's place. At their place, honestly. Look who's back home. Look who is back home where his man can keep an eye on him. And absolutely shout out to Alan for continuing to sass these two and their overly dramatic selves. Because yes, one moment y'all are about to destroy everything in your path of love, and the next Charlie's here a docile little bunny, he just didn't move out of Babe's place a couple of days ago. But okay. We support y'all. But Babe wants to skip practice, stay home with Charlie, look after Charlie. And Charlie's nah, it's okay. Jeff is here. Jeff, who also almost just died. And Alan is y'all look mad weak. Both of you need us here. But, they're okay enough. So Babe heads off to practice. Alan also heads off to practice. And they leave Jeff and Babe by themselves. I love Alan's, oh Lord, who's mad now? I love Alan's dad face here because Sonic is like, well, I figured I'd come and help since you guys have some shady people working here. And I absolutely love how over everyone and everything Sonic is. Like, he should come back as co-manager, to be honest. That might be the perfect. I feel like this would help. Yeah, that's what Sonic should do. Sonic should come back as the co-manager. And I also am here for Sonic being completely over North. There's a read he gives Sonic later. There's a read he gives North later where he's just like, let's just jump to that now. There's a scene later on where North and Sonic are talking, and Sonic is sharing his suspicions about Dean to North, and North is like, well, I don't really see that. Are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. And Sonic is just like, can you stop being so indecisive? Can you stop being so meh? Can you please think? Can you just not be floating around here? And I was like, whew. If I was North, I would change my life for the better because, yes, North just comes up like a being in a vacuous space in a body. And I feel like even though Sonic likes him, North's faults right now are winning. So, yeah, my boy is tired. And then later on, we have North meet up with Dean at a bar, and I just thought this looked so shady. Look, Sonic started side-eyeing him, I started side-eyeing him. And now, so is North. So, again, if Dean is not the inside mole, I will feel terrible. If we somehow realize it's stupid old, I don't know who the heck would want North on their side, but I wonder what the point of this scene was, right? Was it for North to start to think about what Sonic said about, like, stop being so indecisive, like look deeper into stuff, or yeah, like what could it mean? I don't know. Sure, I feel like I am sounding like a conspiracist when it comes to this show, and I should just probably keep watching. But yeah, maybe this is going to lead to some character growth for North, and I'm here for that. Long story short, if this leads to North using a little bit more of his brain, completely here for it. Completely here for it. Okay, so from there, let's go on to probably my other favorite couple of the show this season, Kim and Kenta, who I have realized, apologies, I probably used their names interchangeably last week's episode, but you know what, whatever. They're one now to me. So again, they continue to do all this, like Chris and Pete have a lot of sciencey stuff happening. Babe and Charlie and them are sort of the pawns in this psychological warfare with Tony and Willy. And then we have Kim and Kenta here, like doing investigative Jason Bourne spy level investigation. So it's such, again, I am just so impressed by the level of juggling of storylines being executed well. And if you agree, leave a like and also subscribe so you can hear me continue. So from there, and later on that night, Kenta decides he's going to sneak into Tony's facility, and Kim is like, have you lost your entire mind? Why are you trying to be so impetuous with this? And I don't know, Kenta is really, obviously there's a lot of complicated emotions he's dealing with, especially with the connection of his past with Tony. There's a lot of fear, anger, so on and so forth. I mean, literally with all these kids, like Tony was trafficking children. That is the crux of this show. Child trafficker Tony steals kids, uses them, disposes of them if they do not. He has a child army. Tony has a child army. It's wild. It's wild. So yeah, but regardless of that, Kim is trying to, like we said earlier, we wanted Kenta to have new friends. And Kim is trying to remind Kenta that I am here for you. And of course, their tussle turns into like them finally kissing. Like, okay. It was cute. It was cheesy. It was silly. It was cute. It's like tripping and falling on someone and like ending up kissing them. But yes, they finally have their first kiss. Thumbs up. We're happy for them. We got there. Even though where we got by the end of this episode, I'm not sure it matters. So they head into this warehouse where we can clearly see bodies are being disposed. Tony is completely going fully ahead with his experiments. And also, like, I just thought about it. Like, Kenta's like, we don't know what he's doing. What does you knowing what Tony is doing going to change? Again, like, so many people feel like knowing what Tony is doing means something. Okay, you know what Tony's doing. How are we taking down Tony? This is why Tony was able to be resurrected and still have all his connects, because killing Tony is not enough. It does a lot of the heavy lifting, but y'all can't even get to Tony. There was a lot of chicanery involved in season 1 that allowed all of them to be able to get that close to Tony, and also like Wei sacrifice himself. Like, I don't know, but I love this scene. I love them entering the building. I love how like each level kind of feels like a video game. It gave me that video game energy of like, gotta climb level to level. You gotta make sure the combatants don't see you. It was really well done. Files, they find out Willy's power is time manipulation. They're like, we've gotta let Babe and Cole know. So they start to try to escape and are quickly caught. I'm like, how did you guys get up here so well and so suavely, and now like everybody's on your tail just because you killed one guy? Anyway, they're trying to get out of there. All of a sudden, Kim remembers he's not a detective. Like, none of y'all are detectives, but whatever. In order to get this information out to Charlie, Pit, Bay, and Co., Kenta decides to sacrifice himself way too easily, in my opinion. I'm like, I feel like y'all could have gotten a couple of more levels, jumped a couple of windows and made it to freedom. But I don't know, maybe the idea is if Kenta sacrifices himself, they'll think he was the only one in the building and, not go after Kim. But regardless, I think there had to have been a third option. What it is, I can't think of it right now. So Kenta gives up to himself, and Kim is able to leave and take, the news back to the crew that, Willy has the power of time. So from there, let's go back to an earlier point in the story where Babe and Alan go to work. They got a race. They still got to make money. And Jeff and Alan are left by themselves. And when they're at home, the power of being able to see the future kicks in for Charlie. And in this vision, he sees Willy coming to him, and basically the plot was already revealed quite early once I watched this back. But this is absolutely not a vision of Charlie seeing Willy come to take him, because this area looks different. It actually reminds me of earlier in the episode, and like 2-3 episodes ago, when Babe was stalking Willy. You guys remember like that cage looking area kind of looked like a warehouse area where Willy was looking down at Babe and Charlie. It looks like the vision Charlie is having is actually a vision of wherever Willy is probably going to keep him. But regardless, at this moment, Charlie is seeing a vision, and that vision has Willy coming to him or at him or whatever. And Willy's behind is just out here looking evil and fine. But regardless of that distraction, and from there, because they need this experiment to continue, Pete falls on his sword and says, hey, I have powers. Let's see if this will work on me. I think they brought up a great point. Like, we need you to be functional because you're the only thing standing between us and Tony. But whatever, they continue. They forge ahead with this experiment using Pete now that Charlie is kind of out of commission. And it looks like some of Pete's brain is functioning a little bit more this week, because he comes home, he sees Chris there. He's like, he actually uses his power on Chris, shocker, again. And I love how like Chris is like, did you use your powers on me? But he's trying to see, like, what are you doing in my house? What is going on? Can I trust you? So again, I think just the fact that he's questioning that, excellent progress being made there. So before we get to the absolutely soul crushing part of this episode, I figure we could just take a quick pause in the land of Alan and Jeff. Are they not the cutest? They were like, Jeff is cured. Alan is still kind of not being honest about his surgery, even though like he needs it immediately. He's trying to like, again, be there for the team. But my guy, if you die, doesn't matter. So let's get to the soul crushing part of this episode. And that circle is just a circle around Charlie and Babe. Shout out to Pavel and Pooh. Again, great work, great episode. They have really honed their crafts in season 1. And because again, there is this realization that Babe had in season 1 after, Charlie faked his death to protect him, where Babe loves Charlie. Babe is someone who has grown up without a lot of like, outside of Wade, and we see how terrible that happened, but outside of having someone in his corner that he can depend on 100%. And Charlie has absolutely come to like fill that role. So the loss of Charlie for Babe would be excruciating. Like, that is no joke. And I think each week us seeing how Babe reacts to whether it's the medical aspect of what Charlie's going through, or the danger Charlie is trying to suffer silently for him, like, Babe just keeps creating, like, I'm here for you. We're going to get through this together. We've got this. Don't worry, I'm here. And that's just very comforting to see. But at the same time, it just kind of spells an impending doom coming. So yeah, we get this scene. We get this flashback. And then we get Charlie and Babe in kind of current time. Again, with Babe just like, I'm here for you. I've got you. Just that's the constant message. And I was here in my cozy little bit of happiness. Like, oh my God, look how supportive Babe is being. And then the episode decided, oh, you got comfortable. We made like you feel comfortable. Let's stop that now. Because the scream I scrump when I saw Willy activate his powers, I was flabbergasted. I was aldergasted. Like, I was so surprised by this because I never thought it was time manipulation. Because never. You could not have. I don't think I even thought about that. Like, did I think his power was being an asshole? Was manipulation? I thought it was some form of manipulation. I didn't think it was actual time. But yeah, we see how he gets Charlie. Time manipulation. He goes to the lab, he stops time, he takes these employees' badges in order, like he's an unseen, you can't plan for this. He could stop, like, how are you defending against this? What can you use to, other than just shooting him dead, like, what can you use? Also, does this mean this is how he was able to, like, get or like disarm, like, one, Babe doesn't have his powers anymore, so I could see how, a mere human could probably even take him down now. I'm not sure how that works, but if you guys remember that scene when they're in the spa room where we just went like, damn, Babe, how did you just not defend from that at all? Obviously, more nuance there. But yeah, if he has time manipulation, that scene explains a whole lot more now to me. And just the extra little movements Willy has, where again, he's just like a snake. He moves like a snake. And he just moves. It really gives me like Heath Ledger Joker, right? Where he's very much like enjoying what he's doing. He's enjoying being able to get one off on Charlie and crew. Like, he's literally walking into the lion's den and he's like, you guys won't even know I'm here. Of course, he has to make it known, of course. But yeah, this was a fantastic reveal for me. Like, I loved it. I thought it was well executed. For some reason, I didn't see it coming, but the way it played out, I loved it. So Babe is out here protecting his man. He gets the call that Willy does in fact have a special power, and that special power is the manipulation of time. Babe is shocked, as he should. And there goes Willy coming out of nowhere again. And I hate the fact that every time Willy's in the same room with Babe, he wants to assault him. Like, I just hate that. I hate that for all of us. Because what is the... Like, I was going to be like, what is your damage? But from what we've seen, it's a lot of damage. But, like, stop it. Stop it. Like, he just cannot help himself from taunting Babe. He can't help but, show Babe the gotcha. I gotcha. Weren't expecting this, were you? That hubris is going to be his goddamn downfall, and hopefully soon. But Babe tries. But again, when someone's power is time manipulation, there's only so much you can do. Like a punch is not stopping that. Which again makes me think, how does Tony have Willy under control if Homeboy has the entire power of time? But yeah, the episode ends with Willy having the upper hand, stopping time, and we know by the time we come back next week, Charlie is absolutely going to be gone. So again, just a quick reminder, that vision Charlie has earlier on in the episode where Willy's coming, Willy's already got him. And I like how the episode ends with us seeing how that transpired without really showing us. Kind of wild. So, yeah, Kenta's been taken. Tony's probably going to kill him, so that's not going to work out well. Chris and Pete, like, I know there was some investigation happening. To be honest with Chris and Pete, maybe just because I dislike the character of Chris so much, I don't really get what his endgame is. I don't know if the show has spelled it out. Maybe I'm just missing it because my brain is just like, we don't want to process this character arc. And then we've got North, Sonic, and Dean. I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes to and whether or not, like, North redeems himself. But outside of that, biggest of all, I want to come back next week and see where we have Charlie, Babe, and Willy. Babe is going to lose his goddamn mind because you just took his man. You just took the man of a man who has abandonment issues. So that's going to be a lot of stress. And he still got a job. He still has to race cars. So there's a lot of things on the table for episode 9 that I'm looking forward to. So we'll probably also get more Tony, especially now that he has Kenta. But yeah, altogether, really well done episode. This is probably my favorite episode of the season so far. Very enjoyable. Plot is taking us there. And I am intrigued and interested. And that's all I've got to say. Feel free to share your thoughts on this episode in the comments. It's like a desert filled in there. But I would appreciate if you guys just took a quick second and let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. What you liked, what you didn't like, what worked, what doesn't, your favorite character, your favorite pairing, and your least favorite pairing. So yeah, anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so very much for listening, and if you haven't, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Bye.